In our last video, we have seen how to run our basic agent using ADK web. So we had a code like this, and we just have to go into the terminal and we just have to fire this ADK web command to run this particular agent. This was giving us a basic UI where actually we can interact with the agent. Now this approach is good if we have to do like some kind of quick demo or we have to show something as a part of POC. But if you have to deploy something in our environment, then this approach is not going to work because there could be certain use cases where you just have to run this particular agent as a backend process or you have to integrate it with another UI. So in that particular case, we have to run this particular agent without ADK web, and that's what we are going to cover in this particular video. So to achieve it, I have created one particular folder here which is called basic agent no web, and under this now we have to just create two files. One is going to be .env and another is going to be agent.py. Earlier we were creating three files in our directory, so the third file was init_py. This file is not required over here. In environment, we are going to keep the same setting, which is going to be use vertex AI is going to be false, and then we have to pass our Google API key. The main code is going to be agent.py. So in this file, what we can do first, we can just take the same code what we had over here. We can just copy and paste it directly in this case. Now I'm going to do certain modification. So instead of just keeping this code as it is, I'm just going to divide it into two parts. So first part is going to be step 1, where I'm just going to get our agent. So this I can just call get the agent, and I'm just going to enclose it under a method which is going to be get agent, and at the end I'm just going to return our root agent. Now this is part 1. The other part is going to be where we have to run our agent. So this I can just call it a syncdef main function. Under this I can have my query. So under this function we have to do certain things to invoke the agent without ADK web. So first thing what we have to do is we have to create memory session, and then we have to create runner instance to run the agent. To create memory session, we are going to use something called in-memory sessions, which is being provided directly from Google ADK package only. So what I'm going to do is go to sessions, and then from here I can import in-memory session, and then this in-memory session I can use it just to create our session service, which is going to be in-memory session service. Using this particular service, we have to create our session. For that, so I'm just going to take this session service, and then I'm just going to use create. If we see under this session, we have to pass our app name, user ID, and the session ID. So for this particular demo, we can describe those values as a dummy values. So I'm just going to say app name, which is going to be basic agent no web. Then we are going to have user ID, which could be this one, and then we are going to have our session ID, which I can pass it like this. Now I can go to this particular create session service, and under this, first thing what we have to pass is our app. This app name is going to be our app name, which we are passing. Then we do have the user ID, and then we have session ID. One more thing what we have to do is, because everything is running in async mode, so we have to use await in this case. Now this will take care of creating our session service. Now to run the agent, we have to create the runner instance, and runner instance is something that we have to import it from our Google package only. So Google ADK.runners, and then we can import runner from here. Now I can use this runner to create our runner instance, and let's see what kind of values are required over here. So in this case, you could see the app name is required, our agent is required, and then in this case we can pass our session service, and that's why we have created the session service, because it was required from our runner instance. Here we can just pass the app name, which is going to be this one, and then we have to pass our agent, like which particular agent it has to trigger, and under this we can pass our root agent. But this root agent, now we have to get it first. So I am just going to say get the agent, and under this we can have this root agent, and we have already defined a method, a sync method, to get the agent. So I'm just going to use this, and this is going to give us our root agent, and that we can just directly pass it over here. Now our instance has been created, so we can just use this instance to run our agent. So that is going to be our final step, which is going to be run the agent. And to run the agent, now we have to use this runner dot, and here you could see two methods, run and run async. So we are going to use the run async because we are trying to run everything into async mode. and this basically is going to give us events. Now let's see what is required from run async method. So again, here user ID, session ID, and the new message is required, and this new message should be our content type. So let's try to pass that. So user ID, we can pass it. Our session ID, we do have it, but here we have to pass our new message, and this new message should be of content type. So what does it mean? Like, our query is going to be in the raw string format, and we cannot just pass it directly over here, because if we just pass it directly over here, then it is going to give us an error, like validation error. This ADK framework won't be able to interpret it. So there is a certain format which is provided by this Google ADK framework, and we have to follow that. For that, what we have to do is go to this Google Gen AI package, and we have to import types. Now why this is required? Because if you go to this Google Gen AI package, then you could see how this takes the input, and if I just scroll it a bit down, you can just search for these types, and this is the parameter can be specified as either dictionaries or pydantic model. Whatever input we are passing, we have to first of all convert it into this specific format, and if I just scroll it a bit down, then you could see how the input is being passed. So here from the types is taking the content, and your text is going to get passed over here. So what I need to do is I have to format the query. Here I can just say content and then types dot content. If you go to this content, then you could see we have to pass roles and parts. So role is going to be of user because we are just passing a message, and then this is going to be parts. Now under this parts, we have to pass types, then part, and you are going to have your text and query. Now this would convert your given query into the required format. We are just calling it content, and now I can just go ahead and pass the content here directly. Now this would be good enough to execute our agent. The response is going to be off under events, so we have to get the response out of these events. So I'm just going to say print the response, and I'm just going to iterate over this particular event, and I'm just going to say if the event is final response, then I just need to extract the text out of it. So this is what is going to be stored under final response. Now we can just go ahead and call this main method. So this is going to be async IO. So at the last, we just have to import async IO, and we just have to run this async IO dot run and main, and we can just pass any kind of query in this case. So I can just ask advantage of multi-agent framework. Now let me just go ahead and try to run this code. You could see like it's giving an error, missing key input argument. It is not able to identify our API key because we have missed loading our environment variable. So what we have to do is, so we have to load our environment variable. So for that, we can just use from .env. We have to load our environment variable, which we can load it using this particular method. So I will just go ahead and try to rerun the code. So in this case, you could see it has executed with this query. What is the advantage of using multiple agent framework? And then we have able to get the agent response as well. So the output is coming from here. So first thing is the agent response here, and then the final response what we are getting out of this particular agent. And in this case, we haven't used ADK web. We are able to execute it directly in our console by just running this particular code. So that's how you can run your agent without using ADK web using Google ADK framework. That's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.